Good evening, everybody, and welcome to NJIT for the Prep A Championship between the St. Benedicts Gray Bees and the Blair Academy Buccaneers here on the Strive Network. We welcome you inside the broadcast booth. Simon Rose here with you, our director Tom Posse. 17-0 Gray Bees of St. Benedicts. They play their home games here at the campus of NJIT, beautiful facility here in Newark, New Jersey. The St. Benedicts Prep Gray Bees looking for their 27th straight Prep A championship. They'll have to get by a Blair Buccaneers squad who's come on hot as of late. 13-2-1 are the Blair Academy Buccaneers. And they're coached by Matt Nall in his third year. St. Benedict's Prep coached by Jimmy Wandling in his sixth year as the head man. A impressive 118-4 record in those 6 years. But we'll go over the coach's corner since we just discussed it. Matt Nall, third season as the head coach, and Jimmy Wandling, sixth season as the head coach. Matt Nall has done a tremendous job turning the program around here at Blair Academy. In 2013, they had 3 wins. 2014, they had 4 wins. And in 2012, they had 2 wins. So you're talking the last 3 years before this year, they had a combined 9 wins. This year, the Blair Academy Buccaneers with 13 wins. And you got to give a lot of credit to the head man and Matt Nall for turning things around here in this program. I mean, he was previously the head coach at the University of New England. He was a goalkeeper at Wesleyan. Jimmy Wandling, member of the 1991 St. Benedict's National Championship team. That was the first of 9 national championships that this St. Benedict's soccer program has won. 118-4 career record as the head coach, and he's been at the helm of the program 3 times in the last 4 years. They've won the national championship. So 3 national championships for Coach Wandling. He's actually been a part of the program as a coach since 2000. Only took over the head position in 2000, just 6 years ago. But coming over in 2000, since 2000, they've won 6 national championships. So Jimmy Wandling has been a part of 7 of the 9 national championships that this St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees program has here at NJIT's field. Let's take a look at our Strive Spotlight. We'll spotlight the goalkeeper for Blair Academy first. It's going to be Mike Iacono. Phenomenal junior goalkeeper. He's the captain for the Blair Buccaneers, committed to Haverford College from Andover, New Jersey. 8 saves in the semifinals against Pennington. Mike Iacono going to have to stand on his head here today as a goalkeeper for the Blair Buccaneers because a potent attack is coming against them, against him and his Blair team. Our Strive Spotlight for the Gray Bees of St. Benedict's, Johnny Antunes. He's a 3-year captain. That's unheard of here in this program, considering how many great players have come through. He's got a chance to be a 3-year national champion, does Johnny Antunes. 5 goals, 19 assists. He plays outside midfielder for the St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees. Monmouth University commit, and he is recently named the NJ.com Boys Soccer Athlete of the Week. Johnny Antunes is going to be somebody to watch. 5'7", 155 is the guy on the wings for the St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees. You see the teams marching out here to midfield. The starting 11 for each team. So we'll take a look at the starting 11 for each team. Starting with the Blair Buccaneers. Up top, they've got Sinan Odehu, Ekram Ayan. Not a ton of change since the semifinal game where we saw them against Pennington last Thursday. Enzo Okpoye, John Corio, Stephen Frick, and Matt Girisavasinja is in the midfield. And on defense, JT Lamon, Owen Patterson, Jacob Sudel, and Jack Mooney. In goal, Mike Iacono under head coach Matt Nall. For the St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees, 2 potent guys up top in Luis Silva And Victor Villagomez, the outside midfielder, and Johnny Antunes, the captain, Joey Meyer and Mickey George, the center midfielders. Outside midfielder, Fabio De Sousa. Outside back, Joe Alba. Center backs, Andy Martinez and Esteban Hidalgo. And the outside back, Christian Nunez, with the goalkeeper, Andre Medina. Head coach, Jimmy Wandling, as the squads take the field. And we are ready to get underway here from NJIT. This should be a fun one. The St. Benedict's Gray Bees going for their 27th Prep A championship in a row. An unprecedented thing for them to accomplish. They certainly have the opportunity to do so. Not only do they have the opportunity to accomplish 27 Prep A championships in a row, but the St. Benedict's program has received word from TopDrawerSoccer.com, which gives out the rankings for the national, on the national level. Obviously, St. Benedict's has been number one nationally for quite some time, and they could lock up with a win today their fourth national championship in the last 5 years. So they're going for number 10 overall. They've won 9 in the program history. St. Benedict's could eclipse their 10th national championship with a win here today. You can't take these Blair Buccaneers for granted. Some dangerous players for Matt Null's squad. As it'll be the Blair Buccaneers, Sina Nudejo in the middle. He's wearing the neon green captain sleeve. As we are off and running from NJIT. Blair 13-2, St. Benedict's Prep 17-0. Simon Rose here with you on the Strive Network. Happy you could join us for a matchup between two very impressive-looking soccer teams. The Gray Bees, of course, nationally ranked for the last 2 years at least. They won the national championship last year, and they haven't lost since then, 17-0 this season. As this is Christian Nunez. Gray Bees working with possession in the back before they go on the attack. Andy Martinez now in midfield, sliding it over to the far side. George, Mickey George, and Joey Meyer. Midfielder, this is Antunes, Johnny Antunes, our impact player for the Gray Bees, three-time captain, a 3-year captain for St. Benedict's Prep, has been starting since his freshman season. As this one is headed up, and down the sideline it goes. It will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in to come for the Blair Academy Buccaneers. Blair on a 3-game winning streak, beating Lawrenceville in overtime their last time out, 3-2. As a tackle here, Luis Silva flipping it ahead. To midfield it goes. Mickey George heads it back in. Here's Antunes. Nunez settles. George playing a long ball in, and this one will roll over the line. Fabio De Sousa could not keep up. So the Blair Academy Buccaneers, as I mentioned, on a 3-game win streak, defeating Lawrenceville 3-2 on Halloween in overtime. The day before that, they beat Pennington on the 30th. 3-1 was the final in that game. That's a game we saw here on the Strive Network. And then they beat Rutgers Prep on the 27th, 7-2. So this team's flying high. All right. Clearly their toughest test of the season in the Prep A Championship, trying to dethrone the Gray Bees. In the midfield, it's Ekram Ayan and Enzo Ekpoye. Cut off here by the Gray Bees. And Akpoya got a touch for Blair. Comes over to the near side. This is John Corio. Corio winning a throw here for Blair. And JT Lamon will throw it in. Lamon looking for no Dehu. Instead, it's St. Benedict's with Mickey George. Trying to feed Antunes. Lamon cuts it off. Poirier looking for a switch. He has his pocket picked by Fabio De Sousa, who will let it rip from 25 out. And that one finds the corner. Fabio De Sousa gets St. Benedict's on the board. Beautifully done by Fabio De Sousa, turning a tackle at midfield into a goal. St. Benedict's picking up right where they left off. They defeated Petty 3-1 in the semifinals. All three of their goals came in the first half. 2 for Villagomez, 1 for Antunes. That was De Sousa's 16th goal of the season. That leads his team. And 5 minutes into the game, St. Benedict's already on the board, looking for their 10th national championship with a win here. De Sousa playing catch with Silva, tackled away by Okoye, but then it's George who will let it rip from deep, and Iacono lets it go over the crossbar as he tips it over. A corner kick to come. First touch from Mike Iacono. He didn't get a touch on that rocket of a shot by De Sousa. Johnny Antunes will be the one to play it in here for St. Benedict's, coached by Jimmy Wandling in his 6th year at the head coaching position. 118 wins to this point, looking for his 119th. The resume just so impressive for Coach Wandling. Short ball, and Antunes plays one in and over everyone's head out of bounds. Coach Wandling was a 3-year starter and a member of the 1991 National Championship team for St. Benedict's. That was the first of 9 national championships that they have garnered. Also on that team, Claudio Reyna, former United States team captain, played in 3 World Cups. He played alongside Coach Wandling here at St. Benedict's. And Coach Wandling a few years ago led St. Benedict's Prep to a 71-game win streak from 2010 to 2013. Stretch of 2.5 years where they didn't lose a game, 71 in a row. They certainly haven't lost a game this season. As this is Antunes shielding. And still able to do enough for his teammates to come and help him out and win possession. Now Antunes with some space. And Johnny Antunes, that ball is just a magnet to his foot. Joey Meyer now on the near side, working on Lamon. JT Lamon trying to prevent him from playing the cross, but it does come in, and it was a good one. Luis Silva connected with it, but it was wide. Been all St. Benedict so far in the first 7 minutes or so. Scoring the goal, Fabio De Sousa with the goal in the 5th minute. Nudehu. And now George for St. Benedict's along the line, plays it deep. This one headed and finds its way to St. Benedict's forward in Victor Villagomez. He'll trail it back to Antunes. Johnny Antunes get a switch of the field. Antunes was the NJ.com Boys Soccer Athlete of the Week. Again, committed to Monmouth, led Cedar Stars Academy on the club level to a national championship. A lot of these St. Benedict's players play on that club team, so the chemistry there for the team in white. These kids have played with each other for quite some time, and the results have followed that chemistry. Antunes also competed on the U15 national team. Antunes receives here. Makes a move, slips it through to Villagomez. Bad angle shot goes wide. The first touch from Villagomez led to the bad angle, and he was unable to put it on net. But still, St. Benedict's Prep threatening here, looking like the dangerous team that they were on paper. And looking like the national championship team that they are. George got ahead out of the goal kick by Iacono. Back to the defense. Andy Martinez slides it back across the defensive line. And Christian Nunez looking for a long ball. It's not there. Blair Academy maintaining their shape down the field. So St. Benedict's will try the left side. This one bouncing to JT Lamon. Christian Nunez. Deflected by Blair. Antunes on Corio. A lot of room for Nunez, but it is cut out by Blair Academy. 10 minutes gone by here in the first half. It's a 1-0 lead for St. Benedict's Prep. They've dominated possession in the early going. This one comes all the way across to the near side. So patient is St. Benedict's. They're certainly happy to play with possession until something opens up down the field, though, as I say that, they kick it out of bounds. Maybe getting a little bit too cute across the back. We're going to whistle here, and maybe a warning for the sideline over at Blair Academy. The referee making some fairly vicious hand gestures towards Matt Nall and the bench over there at Blair. St. Benedict's gets another tackle. George. And Nunez. They switch the field so quickly and well does this Gray Bees squad. Here's Antunes. And they don't force anything either. Another switch nearly cut out by Stephen Frick. Couldn't do so. This one gets on net. Iacono makes the save. Shot on by Fabio De Sousa, looking for his second goal of the game, but Iacono said no and boots it away past midfield. This one comes down to Frick. Stephen Frick working the 1-2. But timing not there as Joe Alba defended. Okpoye making a nice cut, trying to spring somebody up top, but there's no one there. Okpoye still battling for possession and shoving someone off the ball. Okpoye slipping it through on sides is Robinson, but broken up by the Gray Bees. Now Antunes the other way. Johnny Antunes will put on the Jets, try to beat Lamon in a foot race. Lamon doing well to keep up with him. Lamon comes all the way back up to midfield and now will slide back into his natural left back position. Well done by JT Lamon, who stopped the counterattack. George. Trying to find Luis Silva. Knocked out of play by Jacob Sudel of Blair Academy. Substitution here for the Gray Bees. In steps Gerardo Medina. Lammen with a left foot. Nodehu giving chase. He's been very quiet here in the early going. Of course, all of the Blair goal scorers have been quiet. Dominant possession by the opposing team will do that to you. And that's what the Gray Bees have at this point. As George plays a switch to Christian Nunez. Antunes with space down the right side. And Tunis will bring it into the corner. And Lammen knocks it out. A throw for the Gray Bees. Now Antunes on Corio. Back to Nunez. Akpoye stepped in the way. And Blair looking for a who lost it. And Medina for Silva. Back to Medina on net. It's wide. Counterattack. George tackles from behind and stops momentum. Ekram Ayan now with possession. Gives off to Akpoye who lost it. And Medina for Silva. Back to Medina on net. It's wide. The sub almost got on the board, but it wouldn't go. 15 minutes into this one. Still 1-0 St. Benedicts. Again, looking for their 27th consecutive Prep A championship and their 10th national championship. That's what's on the line here today. Able to get it to him was Lammen. Ayan will get a switch. Jack Mooney trying to play it in. Throw in here near midfield for Blair. Ayan open, calling for it. Able to get it to him was Lammen. Ayan will get a switch. Jack Mooney trying to play it in. Cut off at the 18. Now George with some space, and Antunes with a lot of green to work with. The two number 13s battling here. Akpoye trying to pester Antunes. He slips it back to Nunez. This ball sent low into the middle. Cut off nicely by Blair. Jacob Sudel with a nice play. Ekram Ayan at midfield. Ahead, this is Thomas Robinson, the freshman from Hong Kong, and an opportunity for Blair. It's Stephen Frick, whose cross was cut off in the middle. He was looking for Nodehu. Akpoye can't get there. It's George who plays almost a beautiful ball into the corner. But it goes out of bounds on the far side, looking for Victor Villagomez. Villagomez second on the team in scoring with 14 goals this year. Again, the leading scorer, Fabio de Sousa. Leading scorer for Blair is Sina Nodehu with 15 goals this season, including 3 in the last 2 games. Getting a touch there was Stephen Frick, but still St. Benedict's with possession in the attacking third. And Tunis giving chase. It's Nunez who will settle this one down. Find Villagomez. Defended by Corio. Nifty footwork by Villagomez, but he'll reset and trail it back to Joey Meyer. George. And Tunis. And Tunis knocked it through. Nobody was running on, and Iacono easily picks it up. 50-50 ball. Nodehu got a touch, and he put it right into the possession of his teammate, Stephen Frick. But that one gets down to the goalkeeper, Andre Medina. Haven't called his name at all here in this first half, as Villagomez is the attacking player in this play. Ill-advised touch, so Villagomez is able to get a shot. Lack of communication in the back there. Iacono probably could have called his defender, Owen Patterson, off. A no harm, no foul, as it'll be a goal kick after all of that. And Mike Iacono will reset this one with 21 and a half to go here in the first half. Comes down to Villagomez. Now Antunes. Another switch of the field. And they'll come back to the near side with Antunes. Corio's there. Antunes with a beautiful move to get by him. And will play the cross along the ground. But it comes out. Frick gathers, but his first touch not good. Mickey George able to gain possession. He puts a cross in. Blocked away by Jacob Sudel. In the middle, Akpoye. Corio open. He receives. Thomas Robinson up top, unable to maintain possession, but Akpoye comes in. See Blair Academy a little antsy with the ball, trying to make a lot happen every time they touch it. St. Benedicts has just not allowed them to possess at all, as this is Antunes making the run, slipping it through to Villagomez. Sudel defending, and Nunez in the corner. Back to Villagomez, lefty cross in, gets there. Now back out, it's Joey Meyer, Antunes, and George at the top of the circle. They play on, Villagomez has a shot, and it's blocked away. Another rebound chance, and this one comes out to the near side. Credit J.T. Lamon with the block. This one stays in play, stopped in the corner by Owen Patterson, one of the captains for this Blair Academy Buccaneers team. Remains 1-0. Joey Meyer. Other side, Joe Alba. Meyer plays a long ball. Corio could not get a touch. Nunez catches up at the near touchline. George. See Iacono's hand going up. He called that offside before the referee did. Free kick here for Blair Academy. It's our last of, second to last broadcast of the year here on Strive. And our last two broadcasts will both feature the Blair Academy Buccaneers. Saturday, our last broadcast of the fall season, Petty versus Blair in football. That one should be fun, as this one off the crossbar, it'll stay in play. It was D'Souza again from deep. Man, this kid doesn't have any range. Or I should say his range is limitless, as D'Souza dips one off the crossbar, nearly made it 2-0. And it ultimately goes out of bounds here for a St. Benedict's corner kick. Antunes and D'Souza in the corner. They played it short last time. They'll do the same here. Antunes from the corner of the 18 plays it deep. And now Corio defending. Knocks this one out of play. It'll be a throw. Villagomez. Alba. Fabio D'Souza. Comes back to Nunez. Christian Nunez trying to work the 1-2 with Luis Silva. Gets it back. Now George at the corner of the 18. De Sousa with room again. He'll fire in this one over the net. That's too much room to give Fabio De Sousa, as he's proven here in the first half. He is the lone goal scorer in this game, and he nearly had the second as well, putting one off the crossbar. That one sailed high. A few substitutions for both teams. Corio checking out for Blair, stretching out his legs over there on the far side. De Sousa. Come all the way to the near side with Nunez. He's had a lot of possession here in the first half. Drops off to Antunes. Back to George. Another switch of the field. Overlap run. Joe Alba receives in the corner. Joey Meyer with some space. He'll send in the cross. Got off the head. Iacono makes the sure-handed save. Luis Silva was the one to head that right on net. Iacono with a nice save. Nodehu now trying to make something happen. It's loose and picked up by the Gray Bees, and now Antunes. George. Esteban Hidalgo. Alba. Looking for Antunes here on the near side as Majirasavaginda defends. Antunes splits the D, put one on net. It goes across and still in play. Fabio De Sousa leaves it off for George, and that one rattles the crossbar. George volleys it off of the left post. And for the second time in this first half, the St. Benedicts prep Gray Bees rocket the wood, outlining the goal cage. You can hear some of the chants from the home crowd at NJIT supporting the St. Benedict's Gray Bees. These sound like some soccer chants if I've ever heard them. It's a corner kick here for St. Benedict's prep. Johnny Antunes will cross this one in. They've gone short the last two times. And no one there to help Antunes, so he'll play the cross in right from the corner, and he connects with a head. But it's wide. That was Andy Martinez, who felt he should have put that one in the back of the net. Nodehu trying to slip it to Robinson. Christian Nunez back on D, able to win possession. Villa Gomez and De Sousa trying to get it ahead to João Kadima. It'll roll all the way in on Mike Iacono. 12 minutes and change to go here in the first half. It's a 1-0 St. Benedict's prep lead. The goal scored in the 5th minute by Fabio De Sousa. Okpoye. Stephen Frick battling hard, but it's again the Gray Beads who come out with possession. And not for long as they play it out of bounds. Simon Rose here with you on Strive, live on Strive. St. Benedict's Prep looking for their 27th consecutive Prep A championship and their 10th national championship here in their home field at NJIT. Antunes. Long ball to the far side, it's D'Souza. See our camera shaking a bit. That's because of the fans here in the here on the stands. Here's D'Souza finding Antunes. Johnny Antunes gets by Lamin, played it in, and it was nearly a goal, but goes wide. Jao Kadima got a foot on it. All of the chances thus far have gone in favor of St. Benedict's Prep. As this one comes in on Medina. Free kick by Blair. And Hidalgo. Under 10 minutes to go here in the first half. The chants continue here from the St. Benedict's faithful. They certainly believe they can win because they're 17-0 to this point and have won the national championship 3 times in the last 4 years. Could make it 4 of 5 here with a win today. Communications department receiving word from TopDrawerSoccer.com that if indeed St. Benedict's Prep wins today, they will be awarded the national championship for that 4th time in 5 years. They started the year obviously as the #1 team, and they would finish the year as the #1 team. Joey Meyer plays a beautiful ball to Villagomez. Victor Villagomez working on Lamin. Back to Nunez. And Villagomez into the corner, space to cross, gets it in. Iacono, no rebound. Iacono allowing his players to get up. And we'll kick it off the ground. Stephen Frick running on. Defended by Joe Alba. Frick trailing back. Okoye unable to get there, so an opportunity for the Gray Bees. It's Antunes. Getting by Lamin, and Antunes now has to spin it back. Lamin recovers well. Great defense there by JT Lamin. He forces Antunes to play it out of bounds and a goal kick. Blair Academy hanging tough here from NJIT. 50-50 ball comes down to D'Souza. Took it away from Enzo Akpoye. And then intercepted by Blair Academy and Jacob Sudel. Akpoye coming away with it. Trying to play it long to Nodehu. That didn't fool Hidalgo, who got the head. D'Souza with a bicycle kick backwards, and they're going to call a dangerous play against Fabio D'Souza. Quick restart. Up ahead to Nodehu. Hidalgo got the head on it. And Lamon heads down. Right to Antunes. Slips it ahead to Mickey George. George lofts the through ball to Luis Silva. Now Lamon guarding Silva. Silva unable to get the cross in, and it's a goal kick. Second consecutive great defensive play by JT Lamon there in the corner. 6 minutes to go. Villagomez goes up for the head ball. Antunes back to Villagomez. Trails it back to Antunes. Looking for someone to play a through ball to. Sudel able to get in his way. Here comes Stephen Frick trying to start something for Blair. Nodehu cannot shield off his man, but Andy Martinez plays it out of bounds. As the chants continue here in the stands, and our camera continues to shake. A lot of school spirit here at St. Benedicts, and why not? Very impressive program. From the athletic point of view, John Corio. Jack Mooney plays it to no man's land. Akpoye battling with Hidalgo. Hidalgo wins that battle and maintains possession as he plays back to Nunez. Antunes receives the pass from Nunez. Guarded by two players here on the near touch line, and that one stayed on the line. Putting on the afterburners here is Antunes. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw for St. Benedict's Prep. Referee saying that this is Blair Academy ball, as the center referee overruling the side judge. Not quite sure about that call, as I think that was pretty clearly off of Blair Academy. So we're back in play after the throw by Blair, and Nodehu now receives here on the near side. And now it will be a throw for Blair Academy, and a clear one here in an attacking zone as they try to get on the board. See if we can get a look at that gray bees costume right there in the middle of that student section. I'd be willing to bet that they're the only school that bears the nickname the Gray Bees. Good strong defense by Sudel. With 3 minutes left here in the first half, it's George who picks the pocket of Lamon. Finds D'Souza in the open field. And this one coming in offsides was Luis Silva. Headed back to the defense as Silva pressures Iacono. Kicks this one out of bounds. Two minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first half. Still the goal in the 5th minute by Fabio D'Souza. The lone one on the board. Lamon clears this one away. George in the midfield among 4 Blair Academy players. Corio can't catch up to it. Ekremayan. Tackled away, now it's Antunes, trails it back to space. Andy Martinez. Clock stops at 2 minutes on the official scoreboard across from us. So the official time is in the pockets of the referees, and their whistle will designate when this one ends, as they'll decide if there's any injury time to add on. Here's Antunes, guarded by Ahan, back on D. Ahan winning the battle. And it is a goal kick. You can see Blair Academy game planning for the number 13, Johnny Antunes. You got to look at the gray B. Antunes hasn't had a ton of space to work with since the beginning portion of this first half. He steps in front of the goal kick by Iacono, somehow leaves this one in play, but then lost it to Okpoye. Nunez doing the tackling, battling with Adam Sobey. And Sobey wins a free kick. Those are some good dance moves. Owen Patterson puts it in, and this one will go wide as Medina watches it sail left of the cage. So we're just about 40 minutes in. So we'll await the referee's whistle to designate halftime here. Free kick here for St. Benedict's Prep. De Sousa will line it up. Fabio De Sousa, the lone goal scorer. And he won't even get a chance to kick this one away as the referee blows the whistle. And after 40 minutes, it is St. Benedict's Prep 1 and Blair Academy nothing. You're watching the Prep A Championship here on the Strive Network. And we'll return right after this.
Has a lot of pressure and an interception. Jay Singletary's going to take it to the house, and the Blair Academy Buccaneers strike first. Season, they still have not allowed a defensive touchdown, has Hun, until right now.
And there's an early shot, and it goes in for Emily Dehan, her 5th goal of the season. Just like that, Blair leads 1-0. Gets through for goal.
Passes it up. First pass to go in. A diving save. Oh my, Fiona Wong. What a save. Quarterback. Again. It's Farmer who breaks free. Somehow Keshawn Farmer is loose inside the 25 down to the 19th. Upfield across the 40, still on his feet, coming back the other way. Juwan Dobris makes the last man miss, and then he's gone. In the gun on 4th down, rolling right, completing. Keeling Hunter has got the first down, and he's got the touchdown. On 4th and 9, Petty strikes again.
Back to the action here as the second half begins. NJIT is the host field here at the Prep A Championship. The Blair Academy Buccaneers play the St. Benedicts Gray Bees, and it's the Gray Bees who lead 1-0 after a fifth-minute goal by Fabio De Sousa. As Frick will try to work it the other way here for Blair Academy. Finding Robinson down the sideline, and Robinson hits the deck as it was defended away. So again, the goal by Fabio De Sousa in the 5th minute of play is the only goal to this point. What's on the line here in this game? Obviously a Prep A championship. A win for the Gray Bees would give them their 27th in a row. But on top of that, a little bit of gravy on top of this win would give the Gray Bees another national championship, as TopDrawerSoccer.com has confirmed that they would be indeed the national champions from start to finish this season if they are to win this game. Blair Academy looking to pull off the upset. They'll have to play comeback kids here in the second half, down 1-0. Nice cut by Ahan. Ekram Ahan down the side for Stephen Frick. His first touch wasn't good enough, and it ultimately goes off of him and out of bounds. 2 minutes into this 40-minute session in the second half. Martinez plays it up. And Antunes, after it went high in the air. Johnny Antunes getting past Frick. The outside midfielder slips it to De Sousa with a lefty shot. Gets it into the middle. It went right through Villa Gomez. Still in the 18 here. As trying to clear away was Adam Sobey of Blair Academy. It'll be a throw on the far side. Ernest Mitchell into the game for the Gray Bees of St. Benedict's Prep. That one popped up in the air and may have been called a handball, but it wasn't. Andy Martinez on the far side plays out of bounds. It'll be a throw here for Blair Academy. Matt Nall in his 3rd year, turning the program around here for the Blair Academy Buccaneers and getting them to a Prep A championship after a number of years of, you could say, down seasons for Blair Academy. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast that last year they only had 4 wins. The year before that, 3. 2 wins in 2012 and 6 wins in 2011. 13 wins this year for the Blair Academy Buccaneers. Their season will not be over after this game. They still have a Maple League game to play against the Petty School on November 7th as part of the Blair Petty Day festivities. It will be a Blair throw here on the near side. Shots were 13-1 in favor of St. Benedict's Prep in the first half of play. Don't have the possession numbers, but that certainly favored St. Benedict's as well. Here's De Sousa, able to get the lefty cross in, but it's right at Iacono, who for a moment looked to quick restart and counterattack, but now he'll allow his team to get up the field. Mike Iacono will punt away. One sails past midfield. Ian goes up with it And in the middle, it's Okpoye. JT Lamon at the left back spot for Matt Nall. This one goes through Corio and a throw in for St. Benedict's Prep. 5 minutes and change gone by here in the second half. D'Souza for George. Lamon's there to head it right at the top of the 18, and Corio. Robinson making a run. Corio can't get it to him. And it was last touched by the Afro man, John Corio. Run here for St. Benedict's. Cross comes in. Iacono will watch it sail out of play. Throw in for St. Benedict's Prep. Joe Alba puts it back in play, and he'll do so again here as it was headed by a Blair Academy Buccaneer. Okpoye got a touch. Back to Alba. And to Sousa, but foul called. Martinez cuts this one off. D'Souza plays into the middle where George was waiting. And Okpoye with a chance, but he's unable to get it through. Andy Martinez with a beautiful slide tackle, and on the counterattack, here comes D'Souza. Villagomez off the feed from Medina. Villagomez able to get the cross in, but Sudel able to cut it off. George's first touch goes forward, and now it's Antunes. Here on the near side, he played right midfield in that first half as Antunes has a shot. Iacono makes the save. Point blank save made by Mike Iacono. Antunes had a chance to make it 2-0, but the junior goalkeeper said no. We take one more look. Great save made by Iacono, who has been a stone wall for Blair Academy all season. He was beaten once in the first half by a shot from Fabio D'Souza from about 25 yards out. In-swinger here as this one goes over the net from just in front of Iacono. Villagomez was unable to put that one in as we get another look. Medina with a beautiful head ball, and he put it right on the foot of Villagomez. We'll see if Blair Academy can make the Gray Bees pay for that one. Glorious chance wasted by St. Benedict's Prep. But here's George. Back checking is Ian, and it's D'Souza slipping it to George. Crosses into the middle. Out of bounds it goes. The corner kick will come here for St. Benedict's Prep. You get a glimpse of a packed house here at NJIT. And a glimpse of the Gray Bee. Cross comes in, looking for Medina. It's Villagomez who blasts it over the athletic center behind the field. Don't forget to subscribe to Strive on YouTube. Take a moment and click that button and you'll be updated the Strive Network as we continue our fall campaign and look forward to the winter season, where there will be plenty of dates to come. Streaming live on Strive. 11 minutes into this second half. It's Okpoye forced to play it back to Lamin, right back to Enzo. Lost it to Nunez, and Antunes on the far side of the field now. He's been all over the place. Makes Lamin miss, and now Okpoye. Lamin gets back there and pokes it away, gets it to Ian. But it's George now for St. Benedict's Prep. And foul called there, as Blair Academy will boot it away from their defensive third. Nodehu got a touch, trying to spring Thomas Robinson. And so calm in those 50-50 balls are the St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees. Okpoye with a tackle at midfield. Corio back to Okpoye. And Ian being pestered by Mitchell. Okpoye plays it high in the air. That's not going to get the job done, as St. Benedict's Prep easily cuts it off at the top of the 18. Medina plays it long. Speedy man and Villa Gomez comes all the way to the near side to disrupt things for Jack Mooney. And eventually it's St. Benedict's Prep with possession. Fabio de Sousa. Joe Alba and Mitchell. One to nothing the score here in the Prep A Championship. Simon Rose with you. 12 minutes into the second half. St. Benedict's Prep up by one, looking for more here. Mitchell. Slide it back, and St. Benedict's will once again get a switch. Very pretty soccer that this Gray Bees team plays. Another switch. They switch the field so easily. Something not working on one side of the field, they'll try the other. Here's Antunes. Medina with the cross. And knocked away by Jack Mooney with the head. Mitchell for Antunes. Right at the top of the circle, Antunes will come to the near side. De Sousa for Mitchell. Medina trying to get through traffic. It's Ian in the midfield, shoved off by Mitchell. No call there, as Antunes gives back to Mitchell. And now Ian again. Mitchell coming back to try to chase him down, and Ian with some long strides loses it here to Joe Alba. Via Gomez for Antunes, followed by Okpoye. Alba. Villa Gomez receives back in the corner. Cannot get the cross off. It was deflected by JT Lamin. And Blair trying to clear away, but they put it right into the middle where George was. And he tries to volley it off of his chest, but it goes wide. Substitutions here for Blair Academy. John Corio coming out of the game. Matt Girasava-Shinda checks in. And stepping out for St. Benedict's Prep, Gerardo Medina. This one played long by Blair, out of bounds. Beautiful night for soccer here from Newark, New Jersey. It was a Beautiful day. It has cooled off considerably here as the sun has set. But very comfortable for these players and the fans at Lubetkin Field here at NJIT. Whistle here, it'll be a Blair Academy free kick. Trying to crack the scoreboard here in the Prep A Championship. Long ball in, and sure-handed was Medina. Andre Medina makes the save. Quick restart as Antunes looks to get it by Lamin, and it looks like Lamin touched his hand to the ball. No advantage played, so a free kick for St. Benedict's Prep as they will have their reinforcements come up. Jaroslava Jinda plays it out. And Tunis at the corner of the 18 wins another corner for St. Benedict's Prep. Johnny Antunes to play it in. Low ball towards the near post, and Iacono able to make the save. Nice save by Mike Iacono. He'll roll it out to restart. And he found his man in Adam Sobey. Check that was Ekromayan. As it goes out of bounds. Substitution will halt play as John Corio comes back into the game. Will replace Ekromayan. Sina Node, who has remained in the game for the entirety of play here, just has not had very many opportunities to put the ball in the net. Foul against St. Benedict's Prep. Going to call it against Villa Gomez. Sudol plays a ball into the middle of the 18. It's loose there. Jaroslava Jinda plays it back to Corio. He'll get a cross in. Akpoye got a touch, but it's out of harm's way now as St. Benedict's Prep possesses. Trying to spring Villa Gomez, and they got it to him. Villa Gomez did not get enough on that shot. Getting back on D was Owen Patterson, the captain. George. And now Fabio De Sousa receives in the corner. De Sousa gets the lefty cross on, punched away by Iacono. Comes right to Mitchell in the midfield. And Nunez. Corner kick. This time it's Fabio De Sousa to play it in, as Antunes looks to get in on the action in the 18. Far post ball, connects with a head up into the air. Mitchell trying to keep it in play, but it goes out of bounds, and they give a corner to St. Benedict's Prep. They'll switch sides of the field, and Antunes will play it in here from the near corner. 20 minutes to go, 1-0 still the score. First goal was scored, and first and the only goal was scored in the 5th minute of play by Fabio De Sousa. Lamon cuts it off. Mitchell gets a switch. George in the middle. De Sousa. Bounce in the air. Antunes heads it back to Mitchell. De Sousa again. Able to get a shot on. Iacono got a touch. That one was headed towards the corner. Throw for the Gray Bees. Iacono keeping Blair Academy in this game. He's been forced to play a very solid game between the pipes. Throw for Blair. The Gray Bees faithful. The senior screen continues to stand. De Sousa coming away with a tackle in the offensive third. Well, right back it comes as Sudel was strong on the ball, but then he flips it right to George. Cross comes in. No one was there for the Gray Bees on the other end, but it does lead to a corner. Last touch by a Buccaneer. Buccaneers just hanging tough in this one and hoping for an opportunity to tie this game up. To their credit, they have done well to keep St. Benedict's Prep off the board since the 6th minute of play. As Iacono got another touch, it comes out to George. He might want to volley this one. He does along the ground, and it rolls out of bounds. Will be another corner. Esteban Hidalgo came up from his defensive spot and nearly got that one through. In the end, he does win a corner, though. One gets through Corio. And it will be another corner kick on the other side. Gray Bees continue to pressure here in the offensive zone. Antunes plays, and this one headed over the cage. He connected with the head of Andy Martinez, the defender. Ekram Ayan coming back into the game for Blair Academy, relieving Stephen Frick. "16 minutes to go in the Prep A Championship. Out of bounds, Corio will throw it back in. St. Benedict's Prep throw on the far side, again looking for their 27th consecutive Prep A championship. They have the ball in the attacking zone. This one rolls all the way across the goal mouth and comes out of bounds. So 27 consecutive championships. That streak was in the early stages of its existence when head coach Jimmy Wandling was playing for St. Benedicts. Remember, he was a 3-year starter for St. Benedict's Prep and a part of the first national championship team back in 1991. St. Benedict's content to maintain possession here in the midfield. Now George. George puts on the Jets, but then loses it here to Ian. Nodehu here at midfield. Bad ball from Nodehu, and another attack does not develop for Blair Academy. D'Souza will let this one rip from deep. Remember, the kid is dangerous from wherever he is on the field in terms of putting a ball in the back of the net. That first goal that he scored was from about 25 yards out. And he also had one in the first half that rocked the crossbar from distance. Goal kick for Iacono. To midfield it comes. Recently checked in Luis Silva. Tackled away by J.T. Lamont. They get into the middle. It's Nodehu. Again losing it. Okpoye is there to bail him out, but then Okpoye nearly had it tackled away. Stays with it here on the far side. Enzo Okpoye cannot get it to Jirasava Jindo. Coming to the near side, Joe Alba. Cut off there by Mooney. A sophomore from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, then lost it. And it's Mitchell. Quick 1-2 as Antunes trailed it back. This is Antunes at the top of the circle. Got a shot on, and it went just wide. Oh, he creates another chance for himself and his team, but it goes wide. Look at this one from Antunes, nearly finding the side of the net. Iacono would claim he had it covered, though. Under 12 to go here in the Prep A Championship. We're in the 69th minute. D'Souza. Another switch to the far side. Still 1-0 here in the Prep A Championship. The Gray Bees milking this lead since the 5th minute of play, when D'Souza, the man with the ball, put it into the net. D'Souza losing it here. Okpoye comes away with the tackle. Nice quick footwork by Corio, and then stepped in by Mitchell. Corio nearly getting it back. Lost it to Alba. And now Alba again ultimately comes up with possession. Dummied there by George. Now Corio for Blair Academy. Frick back in the game for Blair. And Hidalgo gets a touch in the defense for St. Benedict's. This is Ian playing a deep ball, and Martinez shielding off his man, allowing Medina to easily pick it up. Possession has been dominated by the Gray Bees, but they only lead by 1. Just one slip up away, or one big play by Blair away from this game being equalized. And Tunis can't get it past Lamin, and it's a goal kick. De Sousa tackled by Corio, but the help from George. George a long cross, can't get it over the last defender for Blair. Mitchell receives at midfield. Nunez plays it back. 91, 97, 98, 2001, 2005, 2006, 2011, 2012, and 2014, the national championships for St. Benedict's Prep, trying to add a 10th star to their emblem and make 2015 a part of that list as well. Another switch here to Joe Alba. Tons of space for Alba to work. And now Antunes gets by Corio. Corio retreating well. Plays it out for a Gray Bee throw. Mitchell. Didn't play much in the first half, did Mitchell? That's Ernest Mitchell, the midfielder. But he has been in the game for the entirety of the second frame. Antunes here, rolling it into the 18. Trying to find an angle. It's still Antunes. Got a cross in there. Almost connected with De Sousa, but it was touched by the head of a Blair Academy Buccaneer. And ultimately goes out of bounds over the line, and another corner kick here for the Gray Bees. Camera begins to shake again as these fans here begin to sense another Prep A championship, but still 6.5 minutes to go. The Gray Bees remain on the attack with the corner kick, cut off there by Sudel. George got a head ball in and played it deep. Lamin now being pestered by Villa Gomez. He's going to shield this one out of bounds and allow his goalkeeper Iacono to restart with a goal kick. It's De Sousa, plays it out of the air. And Sudel back as it's Antunes who finds it here on the near side. Johnny Antunes guarded by Corio. Trails it back. It's Joe Alba and now Andy Martinez. De Sousa. Okoye comes back and tackles away, no call. Corio could not check back in time. It's George who slips it to Antunes. Mooney, the sophomore, guarding Antunes. Tough matchups for him. Antunes works it to space, slides it across the 18. This shot on goal, but not a lot on it. It was De Sousa who put it on cage. And Iacono who punts away. Mitchell volleys out of the air, but it'll come out of bounds. Corio trying to play into the corner. Could not do so. Alba, more good defense. And now De Sousa. Under 5 minutes to go. Blair Academy trying to break through as they'll switch the call on this one and give a free kick to Blair Academy. They've only had 2 shots in the game, have the Buccaneers. But they're still in this one, down by just 1 goal. Substitution for St. Benedict's Prep. Out of the game comes Jao Kadima. And Villa Gomez back in. This is George shielding Corio. Oh, what a beautiful ball that was. And flicked ahead with the shoulder of De Sousa. De Sousa finding George. Swing it to the far side. St. Benedict's Prep can possess away the last 3 minutes if they choose. This one comes out of bounds as George tried to get it to Antunes. Antunes. Villa Gomez trails to George. Johnny Antunes. Shot on. It's a rocket that Iacono deflects up in the air and then catches out of the air. Iacono quickly across midfield. Long ball played. They're looking for Thomas Robinson. And it'll be a throw on the far side. Another substitution for St. Benedict's Prep. These substitutions will start to take off some time for the Gray Bees as they look to waste away the last 2 minutes. John Corio just unable to penetrate the defense of St. Benedict's Prep. Okpoye deflects it out of bounds. Clock on the scoreboard stops at 2 minutes. So the referees will blow the whistle when this one is over after they add on any injury time. Referee calling a foul here. It'll be a free kick for Blair Academy. Need to hurry. Down by 1 goal here in the last 2 minutes of the Prep A Championship. This one will slide all the way across the goal line. And a 6-yard kick for St. Benedict's Prep. More substitutions for the Gray Bees as Medina takes his jolly old time to go retrieve the ball out of the bushes. Up ahead as Nodehu gets it to the top of the 18. Ian trying to create something. Knocked away out of bounds. A throw for Blair. This could be one of their last chances. Played into no man's land. Corio got a touch. And George bicycle kicks the clearance. Mooney. And Owen Patterson. Now it's Okpoye. And Frick has it at the top of the 18. Now it's brought away by St. Benedict's Prep as the fans prepare to storm the field. But it's Ian as Alba gives chase on the back line and he knocks it out of play. It'll be a throw-in. Can they get a long throw? No, they're not going to get it off. St. Benedict Prep, for the 27th consecutive time, has won the Prep A championship. And for the fourth time in the last 5 years, the St. Benedicts Prep Gray Bees are national champions. They've added another star to their emblem. 10 national championships, double digits now for Jimmy Wandling's St. Benedict's Prep Gray Bees, the fourth in his head coaching career in just his 6th season. Incredible stuff from St. Benedict's Prep as they yet again win the Prep A. This has been a presentation of the Strive Network. St. Benedict's Prep's goal scored by Fabio De Sousa in the 5th minute. Our director today was Tom Posse. My name's Simon Rose. Our next broadcast on Saturday when the Petty School takes on Blair Academy in Maple League football. Until then, so long. St. Benedict's Prep, Prep A champions and national champions.